Put myself in the spotlight. Welcome, everyone. This is our first official Vestar webinar where we're going to introduce two projects. First one is Sharkroll that you guys are very familiar with, and the second will be Sandwich. So from Sharkroll, we have Barry Martin. He's the CEO. He's going to talk about how Sharkroll is scaling up for the summer, also what features are coming on the milestones and down on the roadmap. Will give us an update on IGB Live, how successful was the event. We are very curious to hear it, and what partnerships has been achieved, also what deals are coming up on the pipeline. And after that, we're going to move to some questions regards of the new token sales, also games, partnerships that are coming up with integrations and new payment methods. We're going to talk about down on 3 to 6 months goals as well that Sharkroll wants to achieve. And we're going to have like a closing Q&A session if anyone wants to ask questions in the chat from Barry or either ourselves. And we're moving to Sandwich later on. So let's kick off. We've been delayed a little bit. So Barry, the stage will be yours. Thank you very much for coming. And we would like to ask you to give us a short brief about Sharkroll, what it is. And after we're going to move on to IGB.
Sure. Good morning, everyone. Sorry for the delay. That was my fault. A bit of a Mac issue, but we got there now. Basically, I am the CEO of Sharkroll. Been with the business for, 9 months now. It's been a really interesting 9 months. I've learned so much from the guys. Still very, very happy to see the daily growth within the business. So what is Sharkroll? I think was one of Ed's questions. Well, if you take a bit more of a kind of a bird's eye view of the whole business, a gaming in relationship, the fastest growing sector within iGaming has been cryptocurrency casinos over the last 18 months to 2 years, and this growth is been exponential in the last 6 months. If anyone would have been at the IGB show this week, we were, and there were a huge amount of not only exhibitors within the crypto casino space, but also satellite services associated with the crypto casinos. So you can really see the movement has begun. And it's great to see that Sharkroll is very much within that movement. The nice thing about Sharkroll, and I think that was the premise of Ed's question, is what really is Sharkroll? Well, you could quite simply say it's a crypto casino, but it's a great deal more than that. It's a piece of fantastic technology that is being built on a daily, hourly, weekly basis, etc. That is moving at such a rate that, given the competitors that we saw this week at IGB Live and have been investigating over the last 6 months or so, I think we've got something that not only rivals what they already have, but is going to exceed and bypass them in a very short space of time. Now, having the best technology is one thing, but obviously putting that technology into use and making sure that players, affiliates, everyone driving traffic actually gets to find out about Sharkroll, and that's what we've been doing over the last few months. It is opening our doors up to a multitude of these payment providers, to affiliates, to digital marketing agencies, etc. And right now, we are on the precipice of something huge with Sharkroll. So I'm very excited. I know the rest of the guys are. This week's been instrumental in that as well. We've signed some really, really good agreements with some pretty big operators in terms of whether it be payment providers or partnerships with traffic providers as well. We've done quite a few of these. I think together we did over 40 meetings in 2 days, which is some feat, I must say. But what we did do is that we've definitely put Sharkroll on the map in the industry, and people are sitting up and taking notice because they can see what we've achieved to this date and what we are going to achieve.
Oh, Barry, that sounds really amazing, actually. So it means that IGB Live was quite successful for Sharkroll, isn't it?
Well, we were quite lucky. We had a team of people looking at the IGB Live app. We set some parameters within the app to say, right, these are the people we want to see. And on top of that, there were people that actually wanted to see us as well. So if there was enough time in the day, we could have done 200 or 300 meetings, but you physically can't because it's literally like a conveyor belt, a a rotating door of people coming in and out, and it was a very frantic 2 days. The doors open at 10. Our first meeting was at 10. The doors closed at 5. I was still having meetings in a pub, I will say, having a few beers with these guys, but that's how some of the businesses gets done in this game. But on Wednesday, I never got home till like 10 o'clock at night. It's a full on, 2 days. And because we're not in the because we're not in the regulated space, and when I say regulated, we've not got a UK license facing the UK. We've not got a US license. We haven't got an Ontario license. A lot of these contacts that we have to make, they're kind of sitting on the periphery of gaming. They haven't got stands, and they can't. They like to kind of lurk in the shadows, shall we say? Now you have to meet them via these apps, and face to face is the only way they really do business. So having these 2 days at IGB was not only great for the brand, as far as speaking to people about what we do, how we've got here, but also, like, I can think of 10 of the meetings that we did are going to be unbelievably pivotal for the business going forward. Um, like Easy Tips, we signed a deal with him yesterday. That's a huge coup for Shark Roll. They've got a ton of global traffic. We're going to be doing some exclusive work with those guys. They've got a huge following, over 500,000 followers to their site. That's gonna give us huge global coverage for their particular community. Universal Payments, a massive business over in Dubai. We we agreed terms yesterday with their CEO to provide us with the press releases going out today, to provide us with global IBANs for instant bank transfers for our players. So not only have we got, obviously, numerous cryptocurrencies you can deposit with, credit cards now, but now we've got instant bank transfer. Nice thing about instant bank transfer, for people who don't know, very low cost for the operator, very low cost for the player, well, zero cost for the player, and also instant. And there's no chargebacks like there is with credit cards. So having those payment methods in place, along with others that are coming down the line, but having those payment methods in place, once again, gives Sharkroll a huge tactical advantage going forward in the market.
These are really great, and I believe that we're gonna expect some other news coming as well on Twitter, maybe.
Oh
So when
yes,
you guys
there's
gonna
lots.
post
There's
it?
lots of news coming. But my notepad has got like 30 pages of notes, and we've got to follow up and agreements to be made and stuff like that. There's only so much you can do when you've got a half an hour slot with anybody. So, um, yeah, there's lots of really, really good news for all of the whole shark roll community going forward. Um, and as I say, we keep moving the needle one step at a time. And this week was a huge needle mover for Shark Roll.
Hmm. I'm really hoping that it's gonna be converted amazingly, and Chakra is gonna be placed on the market face up going forward. Um, the other question was, especially from our community, what did the providers affiliates said about Sharkroll when you show them on the event? Like, what are the differences? How did they approach it? That it's not a white label solution but a pure coded platform. What are the possibilities that they seen in this, opportunities as well?
Well, that's a really good question, and one I wanted to raise, and I'm glad you've raised it, is because the pretty much to a person, they could not believe that we weren't some white label provider. Like, like you've got with BC Game or you've got with Rollbits and Roobet, etc. This is built from the ground up. We didn't just go and buy a pre-built house. We took a bit of land and we've laid the foundations. We built it from the ground up. So in a technical term, we know every line of code, every dot, every hash, every comma. We know everything about this, about it. Well, I don't personally, but the team knows everything about this. So what does that mean? Let me explain what that means as far as from an agility point of view. Is look, I've been party to both purpose built and using a third party white label. When you use a white label, you put in a request. The request is priced up. It might take 5 or 6 days. Then they add it to a queue. And if you're, shall we say, one of the smaller operators within their network, you're not getting priority. This could take 3 months to make a very simple code change that affects your business hugely. Now with SharkRoll, completely different. We have daily meetings with the technical team, the marketing team, all aspects of the team that we sit down and go, right, what's the most important thing to our business? Okay, great. Let's prioritize this. Goes off to the technical team. They spec it out. We agree it. We sign off a spec and that moves forward. And that process is so agile that it gives us a huge advantage in the market going forward, that we can do stuff in a month. We can do it more changes in a month than one of the bigger players in the market can do in a year. It's that simple. So what does that tell you about our business? That we can move at such a higher speed than anyone else. Now, sometimes it's, we may move in the wrong direction with maybe we think something's really good and we do it, but it's only taken a week to do. It's not set us back. Now, fortunately, we've not done that to this point, but because this whole industry is moving at such a pace that you have to keep up with what's going on, new technologies, new aspects, new things that are appearing every day. And it's important that we're agile, and we are agile. And I'd probably say the most agile business I've ever been associated with. So that that is the thing that people were most surprised of at IGB, is just the great work we've done to this point, what we can do, how quickly we can move, and compared to the rest of the market, how different we are in a good way, different. And yeah, the everyone was absolutely taken aback by what we've done so far.
These are some really good positive feedbacks, actually.
Yeah.
The crypto industry in general is very agile, but if you bringing this agile methodology into the legacy systems, what the casinos in iGaming has, then that's a good combination for a crypto casino, right? So you can move faster, you can implement faster, you can stay on the water, not go below the water. The all these products, features will come out quite fast, so you can adapt much faster and be ahead of the market. That's really, really good.
Well, we are just quickly while you say that,
um,
we had two offers to buy SharkRoll while we was there. People were saying, "Can we buy it? We love this product. Can we buy it?" No, you can't. Why? You haven't got enough money to buy it. I'm sorry, you can't. And these were guys that have got either a platform already from a third party that, just like you said, there's one particular Eastern European or ex-Russian state that have been around for years and years. They've got hundreds and hundreds of casinos linked to their platform, but it was built 15 years ago, and they've done is they've built on top of this casino layer, and it's like building on sand. It's not a good foundation. Ours is completely different, and people see that. So yeah, that's the kind of feedback we were getting, Ed.
That's amazing, honestly. So it seems that the product is really good. So now we can move into more like operations and a little bit of onto the roadmap to see what Chakra is holding for us. So obviously we have blockchain technology integrated into the Chakra, but the main question is coming from the community. When we'll be able to use credit cards to pay on Chakra?
Well, we've been testing. I've been personally testing our new partner ShopPay, and we've got, again, these are things that we did this week at IGB. We've got 3 other providers. In the recent Hungarian community call that I did on this Tuesday, or Monday, sorry, was it Monday or Tuesday? I can't remember. Tuesday, I think it was. I explained that any good business thing needs redundancy, right? If you have one point of failure, it's a very poor thing. So what we've done is we've now got, I think it's 4 agreements now in place for credit cards. So what we're going to do is have this kind of revolving door method with our providers where a guy comes in from, I don't know, he comes in from Canada, and we know that one of our providers gives us a better rate in Canada for Visa than the other one. And the system that we have will automatically and very cleverly go, we can save 0.5% there. Let's use this provider. Now, if that provider says, no, we don't want to take it, then we move to the next provider. So what we're trying to do is have this fail safe for our credit card payments. So we have been testing credit cards this week, I think, and last week. So we've got a provider called ShopPay that we've got a full solution from. It's been integrated. We're just doing the final tweaks. That should be ready any day now. But coming close behind are 3 others that are equally as good, equally as flexible for us as a business. So not only have we got one provider, we'll have probably 5 by within 3 to 4 weeks. So it gives us a huge amount of coverage for credit cards. And I did allude to universal payments over in Dubai. We've now got IBANs as well. So we'll have instant bank transfers. And then you add into that a few of the alternative payment methods, Skrill, NetTeller, some of the e-wallets, and then some localized payments, Boletta in Brazil and Poly in Germany, etc., etc. Well, you start adding all of that in, and you've got yourself a very, very all-encompassing payments product that is pretty much globally accepted.
Understood. So it seems that Sharkroll is going to have quite a good payment system available, right, with these credit cards. Are you planning to implement any other payment methods except from IBAN, credit cards, and crypto deposits?
Yeah, like I said, APMs are really important. If not if when we start to move into more localized marketing for some huge markets like Brazil, like Canada, there's specific payment methods within those areas you need, and those APMs, as we call them, alternative payment methods, will need to be integrated. Now, we have got Sonata, which is a really good product that we've partnered with. We partnered with them a few months ago now. Once that integration is finished there, that'll give us access to like 400 different APMs. So when someone comes in from Brazil, then the Brazilian payment method will be obviously highlighted to them. If you're coming from Canada, you get React. If you're coming from Australia, you get X and Y, etc., etc. So localization is very important because for us to reach the heady heights that we're actually aiming for, Sharkroll needs to be a globally accepted business with the right languages, with the right currency, with the right payment methods, with the right localizations. Very simply, you need banners need to be localized. If you're coming from Canada, there needs to be maple leaves and mountains on it. If you come in Brazil, there's a girl in a bikini with feathers. That, as basic as it may seem, you need to kind of country specific the Sharkroll site, which we've got the technology to do. So all of that is coming. We needed to get our base English site correct first, which we have. But once we start, doing the localization, we are just literally going to take off with spellbinding speed, and the growth's going to be astronomical because, as I say, the technology we have with the localizations and the payments, etc., are very powerful.
So you actually give us a rundown on the milestones as well for the next few months, right? Because you told that new payment methods are coming. You're focusing at the moment on the English side, and after start localizing this site for each, I would say, territory, right? So what are the geolocations that Sharkroll is targeting now and will be targeting later on? Do you guys have a plan for that?
Absolutely, absolutely. So look, we're going to look at taking the easy steps first. So as we've got English, we are focusing on all of the English speaking tier one territories. Okay, New Zealand, Australia, Canada, etc., etc. Ireland is another good area. No localization needed as far as the site's concerned with languages, but we'll have to have the right payment methods. Credit cards is the majority for those territories, and React for Canada. Once we've got that, then we'll start looking at some of the tier twos. Brazil's a great market. Vietnam's a great market. Indonesia's a great market. Some of those. When I say tier two, obviously the GDP of the country is a little bit lower, but there's a huge amount of them. So the volume that they give you compared to obviously the higher value tier one players, it is kind of, about even. So, and we've also got to factor in that if we're going to market to, those tier two countries, it's a bit cheaper because we get higher volume and the player value is a little bit lower. So we have a list. I'm not going to share that list because that's kind of, we've spent a lot of time going through the list and we don't want to tell everybody what we're going to be doing. But it will make perfect sense as you start to see new languages coming on, new payment methods coming on, new currencies. All of those things will be added as we go. So we have a very specific plan. I would say for the next 9 to 12 months on each territory because we're not a big team. We're quite a small team and we're not going to spread ourselves very thin. That would be very silly to do. And I'd rather be, the master of one, except, a jack of all trades, which we're never going to achieve. Yes, of course. In 18 months' time, when we've got 15 territories going on, we'll have a territory manager for each. We'll have marketing managers for each, and the whole business will flourish quickly. But we'll do that in a very structured and economical and financially correct way, because I've been set budgets within my parameters as CEO. We're going to stick to those budgets, and I want to make sure that this thing grows as quick as it can without having any fiscal issues going forward.
Thank you, Barry. I'm a bit conscious about time, so we got two more questions, and after we're gonna have a short break before we start sandwich. But the next question would be, are there any upcoming promotions or ongoing promotions that the community can benefit from if they playing on Sharkroll, depositing to Sharkroll at the moment? How is your user acquisition helping with the bonuses basically and these promotions? If you can give a little bit of brief to the community how it works, especially for the investors into the tokens and NFTs, because they are like more curious about obviously on how we can acquire new users, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So a couple of things. We've got two main promotions we've got going on right now. One's called the Baby Shark promotion, which is a very simple $10 to $200 10 minimum deposit, 200 maximum deposit, 200% deposit bonus with a 30 times wagering. It's quite aggressive for the market, but what we decided to do is have something a little bit smaller compared to our bigger one, which I'll tell you in a minute, for the smaller player. So that's currently ongoing. We're utilizing that within our current bonus engine, and also utilizing that with going out to our email database. And then you've got our bigger promotion, which is the 300% deposit bonus, minimum $100 deposit, maximum $5,000 deposit. Again, that's for the bigger player, your VIPs. The wagering's a little bit higher, 40 times. But again, it's very aggressive. A 300% deposit bonus is very good, and you'll start to see some of the bigger VIP players. What you usually find is they'll come in, they'll have a $20 deposit, make sure that everything, they're happy with it, that they play, everything works fine, which it does, and then they'll move up to the bigger deposit bonus. That's usually how the flow of, player acquisition works when it comes to new players coming in. So we've got that. Plus, we've got a host of speaking this before this week, we were speaking as a group, most of the management team, about how we best utilize the new lottery. We've got a check-in point system. We've got a lucky wheel that we've re-engineered, and the bonus engine. Now, I haven't had much time this week because of the show, but I've started a kind of working document how we pull all of the really good things that we've got around promotions and retention into one very coherent, system that allows players to understand what are the benefits of not only of signing up with Sharkroll, but also sticking around with Sharkroll, the benefits of the free spins and the check-in bonus and winning holidays and iPhones, etc., etc. All of that's being pulled into one system. As I say, we've got all of the parts available to us. It's how we best utilize them, and that is something that we should have as a working document early next week to give it to the tech team to actually have a look at and see how best to pull it together, because we've got so many really good functions within Sharkroll. We just need a way for players to understand them in the best possible means. So you've got, as I said, you've got the bonus, you've got the deposit bonuses going on, and then with all of the other things that we're putting together, which, as I say, we just need to pull them together in a more homogenous fashion. Then I think we'll be sitting on something that, again, it will be very different, and we're going to start to see, with what we've been doing, start to see some really big numbers coming in.
That's really good, honestly. So it seems that the user acquisition is going really well. And may I ask if you planning to share any sneak peeks on the new features coming up on next week on Twitter or LinkedIn? You mentioned lottery and raffles.
Yeah, we're just finishing off the all of the graphics for those. They'll come in time. They're really great features. Again, things that some of the other guys in the marketplace haven't got, and they will definitely turn some heads. The raffle feature is fantastic. So I'm really excited to share that with the community. Once again, it's got to be tested, and we're going through some thorough testing right now. Like a lot of things that we're doing, obviously, lots of plates spinning, and our job is not to let any fall on the floor, which we're not. So hopefully by the early part, I'll speak to Victor, but early part of next week, we should start to see tidbits of information coming out in regards to those. And you should be excited because they are fantastic and the guys have done a great job.
That's really cool. Really cool. We are excited to see what Sharkroll is holding for us, and definitely we're curious to see the sneak peeks on the new features. Barry, unfortunately, our time is up. We would like to hear more about Sharkroll, but we got the next project coming up. If anyone has any questions, you may ask it in the chat, or later on when we're going to update it on YouTube, you will find it in the comment sections. So Vesta Teams is going to look into and I drive all these little questions to Barry. And if you want anything particular, you can go to Sharkroll as well. They have a support page where you can ask questions anytime from the Sharkroll management team. Thank you very much for being with us on Sharkroll. If there's no questions, I'm gonna let Barry go. We're gonna keep a 2 minutes short break, and at 45, we're gonna start with Sandwich. Thank you very much, Barry. Do appreciate you being here.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for watching. And sign up.
We all do. We all do.
Good. Take care.
Bye, everyone. In 2 minutes, we're going to be back. Henny, I think you can stop the recording for now. Box. I'm going to unmute everyone. So we got here Diluk. Diluk, can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm audible.
And yes, we can hear you, and we got as well Hakim.
Yeah.
You can hear us as Hakim as well, right?
Yeah, right.
So guys, this is our first Vesta webinar where we're introducing projects that they're launching on Vesta. Sandwich and Sharkroll has been launched already. We have some tracking, we have some investments made. we have people who are curious about Sandwich. It was due to have this webinar to introduce ourselves, what's happening, to tell us more about Sandwich, how exciting this project is. I see Dinity as well, so I ask you to unmute yourself. Can you hear us, Dinity?
Yeah, can you hear me? Hi.
Yes, we can. So how is this going to go? We're going to ask obviously questions that the community is interested in about, and you guys need to answer. Give us more insights into Sandwich, how it works, what it does, who are you guys actually. So let's start with the short introductions, and we can start with Diluk. You are on my left, and after moving to Hakim and Dinity.
Hi guys, thanks for having us here today. So my name is Diluk Angelo. So I'm one of the founders of Sandwich, and also I'm a Web3 developer in background who has been working in the blockchain technology for more than 5 to 6, 7 years, I would say. And throughout my career, I think I built various crypto projects, and this is going to be my next project which I'm going to work on.
That's really good. Thank you very much, Diluk, for a short intro. What about you, Hakim?
Okay, hello guys. My name is Hakim Gufran. I'm from Indonesia. Right now I'm being the product specialist for Sandwich. I have a background from UX design. I do some competitive analysis for this project. So I hope that we going to be thrive more than their product. So yeah.
Thank you, Hakim. Dinity?
Yeah, hi everyone. So I'm Dinity Fernando. I'm from Sri Lanka. So for Sandwich, I work as a project manager and also the business analyst. So basically, I am part of like the coordination and also making the documents and helping the tech team and the UI team to build like a good product. So yeah, basically that's what I'm doing in this project.
Thank you very much, guys, for the intro. So since we had a little bit of delay in Sharkroll, we're gonna speed up a little bit the conversation. I hope that's not an issue for everyone. If the community has questions, please free to put them in the chat, and later after the session, we're going to answer all of them. Feel free to ask anything. So there's no stupid questions here, right? We are new to the industry, everyone here, except the founders, obviously, and the people working on the projects. So the first question would be, can you introduce us Sandwich and its primary purpose, what it does basically?
Yeah. So Sandwich is actually a crypto payroll platform that helps companies to pay their employees using cryptocurrency instead of the traditional banking. So our main purpose is actually to make payroll faster, cheaper, and more efficient, especially for companies who work with a lot of remote teams and international employees.
Could you give us an example? I have a remote company, I have an employee somewhere. What is the issue here? What is the problem that Sandwich exactly solving? Because here, I would say most of the people doesn't have a background in banking or crypto.
So what we are mainly focusing is we are trying to solve actually three problems, which is the speed, cost, and the complexity. So when it comes to traditional international payments, it takes at least 3 to 5 days or even weeks. So I have been working with some agencies as well internationally. So when the payments arrive, it takes actually at least 1 to 2 weeks because there are approvals, they need fund letters, and there's a lot of things going around, and it gets late for like 3 to 5 days actually. And also the other problem is the cost. So the traditional banking fees are expensive, especially when it comes to cross-border. So we are going to actually reduce this cost. We are going to have a flat fee, which is going to be very, very low actually. And also the other thing is complexity. So managing payroll. So when it comes to paying out your international employees, the thing is the banks, many countries gives their application dashboards where you can do it through one bank, or maybe you will need to log into multiple dashboards to do this and all. But what we are going to do is we are going to make it so simple. It's going to be just one click and the payments will be sent to them.
Thank you very much for the explanation. I hope everyone is clear with this one. So since we're having Sandwich solving out this problem with the transaction, so even ourselves, we're running a company as entrepreneurs, investors, well, for instance, we paying people who are abroad. It takes us ages actually to do crypto to fiat because we just do on ramp, off ramp, and obviously that one is through the legislation systems. It's kind of hard to put the money in the right way and send it out efficiently. So we know that this problem is existing. Not many companies manage to sort it yet. In terms of who can use Sandwage, would you recommend to use Sandwage, and who can use actually Sandwage?
So to be honest, any company could use Sandwich who are working with remote workers, international teams, and also businesses wanting to offer crypto payment options. So there are companies who are willing to offer crypto payments to their employees. So their employees also could get into the Web3 technology as well. And also, this will be a great opportunity for tech startups as well, as the cost would be very much cheaper.
So you mean that, for instance, a company in the UK, I don't know, we have a marketing company. I
Mhm.
employ people in Indonesia, where Hakim is based, and I
Yeah.
can pay them via crypto, but they're receiving fiat, for instance.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's amazing, actually. That's a really good technology. Since the UK started trying, just to give a short brief to everyone here, the UK is trying to move the crypto market in the EU basically and be a flagship country that is also legislating and basically ruling and forming the rules for crypto industry. I mean, not like the UK now with the MiCA, it's coming in, right? But also they're trying to make sure that the crypto industry is thriving here. So on Sandwich side of it, we have obviously multiple countries with multiple currencies. What are the
Yeah.
offerings from the currency portfolio for Sandwich?
So since behind the scenes, our infrastructure is built on blockchain, so we offer a wide range of stable coins, and also by using our main blockchain, which is a Diamante network, we are able to actually send these currencies, even though we execute the payrolls in maybe USD. But when it comes to delivering to the employees, for example, Hakim, who is in Indonesia, he might get this in his local currency actually. So that's the beauty of this blockchain. So we do support multi-currency, any currency actually.
So you mean that if I send us like an employer crypto, then it's converted to US dollar and Hakim receives straight away in his local currency.
Yeah.
Yes, that's possible. Yeah.
That's really good, right? So actually it's going to sort out quite a lot of problems. In terms of fees, how it is going to convert, so you have the fee of the crypto transaction, I assume, and you have maybe a banking transaction fee on it. Is it?
Yeah, so there's not going to be a lot of fees. So there's actually going to be a minor blockchain fee and also a platform fee. So other than that, there's no other fees.
Understood. And what infrastructure are you using for building Sandwich? Since it's a
Uh,
banking system and also blockchain, it's kind of like a hybrid, right? A
yes,
hybrid type of
uh,
project.
exactly. So this is the whole reason we use this blockchain called Diamante Network. So they are kind of hybrid blockchain as well. So the reason we chose this is because it's super fast. The transaction goes in seconds, and the fees are very much lower. The gas fees are very much lower, and also they have high security as well. And also in their roadmap, they offer this feature actually convert your cryptocurrencies into fiat, where it can be sent to your local bank. So this is the whole reason why we chose this infrastructure. So this is actually powering our whole ecosystem, how we are able to send crypto, and the end user might be able to get in fiat.
And could you give us an answer in regards of how this fiat is being sent? Who is sending this fiat actually? Because it's coming from
Uh,
the network, as I understand.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. So how it's done is actually this Diamante blockchain. They have this thing called anchors. So basically, anyone could register to be an anchor. So he's like a middleman, I would say, like P2P. So for example, let's say in UK there are like 5 to 10 anchors. who is responsible for getting crypto and also converting it into their local currency and redistributing them to UK citizens, employees. So how it's done is, for example, in many countries, these anchors could be set up. So there's a whole process how you can be an anchor. So Diamante blockchain is actually taking care of this. So even we can be an anchor who can actually accept cryptocurrency, and also we could give our fiat money as transfers, and we can actually earn by being anchors as well. So Diamante blockchain actually does this for us. So they are going to provide us with a list of anchors in the countries. So what we are going to do once we send, these users actually can use these anchors and convert this cryptocurrency into fiat and get it transferred to their local bank.
So their technology basically is giving you an option to make off-ramping much faster and efficient in all types of
Exactly. Yeah.
currencies all around the world. That's really good.
Yeah.
So this is helping Sandwich at the moment to utilize fully out the payment solution that you're building.
Yes.
You recently launched an NFT on our platform to raise funds for you. So what
Yes.
are the rights of these NFTs? What is it offering for the investors at the moment? Since Sandwich is a traditional company, not like a crypto project which is deploying tokens or whatsoever to and adding liquidity pool, then this is more traditional type of investment, right?
Yeah. So actually, our investment ticket is 130 USD, USDC per NFT. And also what we offer is in 3 years, we are going to actually buy back all the NFTs. So which you get a 3x return. So if you invest 130 USDC, you will get 390 USDC in 3 years. So we do have 3 funding rounds, which are all at 130 USDC per NFTs. So it's actually early support an investment opportunity in Sandwich growth.
Okay, that's really good actually. So just imagine that you putting in 130, you owning a share in a company, and it's going to buy it back in 3x, which is amazing. I assume that if you guys having a funding run from later on, then you might buy it back even earlier because you need the shares back to have more leverage.
Yeah, sure.
That's really good. And could you tell to the investors, to the community, why choose Sandwich? Why would they trust you with the money to make sure that this company is good? Like, why can they not choose someone else? Why is Sandwich better?
So,
In terms of teams, technology, what is the secret behind the recipe?
Yeah. To be honest, the future would be Web3 when it comes to technology and all these companies. So definitely people are adopting right now. So people actually, if you compare within a few years and now, a lot of people have actually got into Web3 technology and cryptocurrencies, and they do a lot of payments and transactions through that. So why choose Sandwich is actually we are building the future of payroll. So combine crypto speeds, cost, and also it's not just payment. So we are actually building the whole HR system, HR platform. So we are building recruitments, leave managements, performance tracking, and also a marketplace where other developers could develop these plugins. So we would actually build more like a modular way where our payroll system can be integrated into other systems as well, other existing HR systems as well, where they could easily use our crypto payment solutions on their existing systems, or else we would be giving them options to join to our HR solutions totally within a simple few clicks. So we do have a clear roadmap as well. And also the other part is since Diamante blockchain is as well new, their roadmap is very good and it's very heavy. So we'll be adapting with their roadmap 1-to-1. So whenever they have new features, we would have them too. So that's why you should choose actually Sandwich. It's actually the future of payroll.
That's amazing. We're excited to see where Sandwich is going to head to and what is going to be able to accomplish. Since Sandwich is going to be in globally, right? Do you have any restricted countries, or you're going to service all type of countries?
So that's still under discussion. So we are starting in crypto-friendly regions only for now, but we'll be expanding globally with strategic compliance. So the thing is, we need to actually check on compliance. We cannot launch on all the countries without checking on that. But these are under discussions with legal teams and everything. But we'll be starting off with actually crypto-friendly regions first.
Understood. And if a company has multiple locations, can they manage on Sandwich multiple countries in the same time? So if you have employees like in 10, 15 countries and the company is based in, I don't know, somewhere in, for instance, Hungary or Romania or Poland.
Yeah, actually, the country does not matter. The location does not matter. It's just the user. So it's just one click. You
Okay,
could
that's amazing.
manage anyone. Yeah,
So you can manage your all remote full force, workforce, whatever you have
exactly.
on Sandwich and pay them efficiently.
Yeah.
Can you tell us more about the roadmap in the next like 1-2 years? Like in short term, what you're planning for Sandwich?
So this year we are planning on actually releasing our recruitment tools and also our leave management system and also employee management features. So it's just not going to be just a payroll. So our product will have basic tools to actually manage your whole company. So we identified we need recruitment, leave management, employee management features for now. And next year, what we are planning to do is we are going to go heavy on AI. So we'll be integrating AI recruitment tools and advanced analytics and also much more features when it comes to Diamante blockchain.
That's amazing. But we are excited to see it, honestly. So I assume you guys gonna post about it on Twitter or LinkedIn, on all your
Yeah.
socials. What are the next steps are coming? Do you have any partners for Sandwich or anything that is getting clear where Sandwich is going to be launched? You mentioned that Sandwich can be embedded into other applications as well.
Yeah.
Do you have anything solid on that side?
Yes, we actually signed off our first partner. It's Neobank, which is from UK. So we actually signed the letter of intent with them. So what's Sandwich's role in this partnership is actually we are going to be their unique HR and payroll solutions for Neobank. So clients are going to purchase subscriptions through the bank's dashboards, and also the partnership validates our approach and open access to their customer base. So Sandwich is going to go to a massive crowd with this partnership actually.
Thank you, Diluk. Just for the rest of the people, what is a neobank is very similar to Revolut. Revolut is a neobank actually. If you go to Revolut, you can see they're having their own payroll system, which is high likely that they integrated from somewhere. So Sandwich is gonna do, I assume, something similar to the neobank that you signed an intent with, right? Oh, that's really cool. So basically what you're telling that Sandwich, as soon as it's done, they already have a customer or a B2B service provider, we could say so, that you can integrate with and immediately get access to hundreds of clients.
Exactly. We already have that opportunity. So we are waiting till MVPs and all the other builds are done, and we are ready to ship for more than, I think, thousands of customers at once.
That's amazing. It's a big start, right? So you don't need to be going out advertising your SaaS system, but you already have some customers waiting to use it, which is really good. So it's going to provide some solid cash flow for the company.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, guys. Honestly, it was really good. It was exciting to see what Sandwich is about. Where is it heading to? What it's going to do? I'm not seeing any questions at the moment in the chat box, which means that maybe the community is still digesting what you guys said, since they're not having banking or crypto background, but definitely it's going to be later on more questions. So we might need to do another webinar, but we're excited to see what you guys are doing here, and we're going to follow it very closely since you launched on Vesta. So thank you very much for being here, everyone. We're closing these sessions now. If you have any questions, feel free to ask from our teams as well. The guys are going to be available. And also, please visit Sandwich along with Sharkroll. Get familiar with the projects because they're going to stay with Vesta for a long time. Thank you very much, everyone, and have a beautiful weekend. Thank you for being here, everyone. Bye, guys. Bye-bye.